Hey guys, it's your boy XP Drip Too Hard, and today I'm gonna be teaching you how to mix vocals, specifically more R&B type vocals. I have a track I'm mixing for my boy called Letting Go, produced by yours truly, of course. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you look at the beat waveform is the beat is very quiet. Now, whenever I mix songs, I tend to make the beat quiet because I find it easier to fit the vocals in on a quieter beat than on a louder beat. You can always increase the volume, but decreasing the volume after mixing, it's gonna be a problem. So what we're gonna do here first is obviously notice that it's very loud. Listen to this. This is raw vocal. This guy is just an amazing singer, but you'll hear that it's much louder.
Why did you have to go and change your heart?
Now what we're gonna do here is first do something called gain staging. It's increasing the volume before you even come into the mixer. So I'm gonna decrease it, let's say about to 17. Let's see how.
Why did you have to go and change your heart?
That's perfect for what we need. So the volume of the harmonies is also gonna go down. Let's see how this sounds.
I need you to let.
Perfect. So we have the value of 17. We're just gonna copy the value here. Because he sent the vocals weird though. Like, if you're an artist, please send your vocals in proper order. Shout out my boy CallMeTino, but yeah, this is gonna get confusing. So I'm gonna arrange it in such a way that it's not actually. So we have the mains at the top and the ad-libs and harmonies at the bottom. So unfortunately I do not have Antares, so I'm going to be using something called M Auto Pitch. I mean, it's good enough, it gets the job done. But you can use Pitcher as well. I fuck with Pitcher. So yeah, the beat is in the key of F major. Always key to your beat. I can't stress this enough. So since this is someone that can sing, you want it to be lower. You want it to be on the lower end. So I'm just gonna start at 50% and then we'll adjust from it.
With the same energy, why did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows? Why did you?
So then the next thing you want to do is you want to DS. And Maximus is a perfect DSer. So you just go here, DS a narrow band.
With the same energy, why did you have to go and change in your eyes? You look back at me with the same energy, and I looked in your eyes. You look back at me with the same energy.
Now here there's a slight difference in the S's because he is careful to pronounce them well as well, but yeah, it DS a little bit. So the next thing we do is an EQ. Now what I like to do is just high pass. Call the high pass because it lets the highs pass and doesn't let the lows pass. Simple. So you go to about 120 maybe.
With the same energy, why did
Now the thing about EQ, it's about taking things out more than putting things in. So the first thing you have to do is take out the trash before you can restock the fridge. So the first thing we're going to do is look for bass frequencies.
did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows? Why did you have to gloat? Just tell me why you had to go.
It sounded very boxy and bassy, so we're going to take that out, about 5, and increase the bandwidth just to make sure we get the frequency out.
Did you?
So the next one I'm going to look for is more boxy frequencies, so a bit higher up.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows? Why did you have to gloat?
See, it sounds like he's in a box, so I'm gonna just take off 5. The next one is this one. We're gonna look now in the mid to see if there's any whistling or anything.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows? Why did you have to gloat?
So I think we should be good. I think now we just boost the high end and boost at around like 2000 just for that presence, you know. So this is what the sound. So pre-EQ, this is what it sounded like.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows?
Post-EQ, this is what it sounds like.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows?
So what I like to do also is just add some air at the top of the thing, you feel me? So you just go to like 12 to 14,000, boost it by a lot, and then listen to this. This is without air.
Did you have to go and change? Did you have to go and change your heart?
Just adds that wispiness that you hear in most modern tracks today. So yeah. So the next thing we're gonna do is I have a compressor up here, and I've already edited the threshold and the ratio. Now what the threshold is basically is setting the midpoint between the lowest sounds in the vocal and the highest sounds in the vocal. So if the threshold is low, it brings down the high sounds more. If the threshold is high, it brings down the high sounds a bit less because the midpoint has been set at a higher range. And the ratio basically determines how strong that come down is. So the higher the ratio, the more squashed your vocal is. So I tend to go for about 2.5 because I don't like square vocals, rectangular vocals. You get what I mean. So now we're gonna play through the compressor and we're gonna see how it sounds.
Did you have to go and change your heart?
See these peaks and whatnot, this is how much the vocal is being ducked essentially. So yeah, that's how much the vocal is being ducked. And my bad if you can hear music, my roommate just came and he loves blasting music, so hey, it's just something I have to deal with, eh? So yeah, that's what we got going there, that's the compressor. And sometimes I like to add some gain, just max, always, whenever I use Fruity Limiter for anything, I always max out the ceiling. So today is no exception. I'm just gonna increase the vocal volume a bit to compensate for the compression, because obviously all it does is take the high parts down. So you need to bring everything up to compensate.
Did you have to go and change?
This has to be done against the beat, that was my mistake.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows? Why did you have to gloat? Just tell me why you had to go. I need you.
Right. Let's ignore the harmony for now. So we have the Fruity Limiter up there. The next thing I like to put is a multi-band compressor, and I use the preset Bright, and here's what it does.
Did you have to go and change your heart?
See how much sheen that added. Here's pre-bright.
Did you have to go and change your heart like?
So just decrease it a bit so you don't have to play the volume later.
Did you have to go?
Now it has that cut, it's incisive through the mix now. So now that we have that multi-band compressor, I want to add another compressor just to be sure. This time a low threshold compressor just to balance out the vocal again.
Did you have to go and change your heart?
So the ratio is low and the threshold is high so that I don't kill the vocal. Basically, just restoring some normality to the vocal in essence. So I increased the threshold. Just, yeah, because it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. But this compressor is just to bring back some of the normality from there. So what I want to do now is add a reverb. And here's my secret sauce on the reverb. I have this preset called Reverb. And basically, you see this. Yeah. High wet, no dry. A good amount of separation. A good amount of size. Although, you could experiment with smaller room sizes. But you hear at max, it sounds like this. That sounds like he's recording it in the shower, and that's not what we want, eh? Unless that's your sound, maybe shower, there's bedroom pop, maybe you'll get shower pop. So you decrease the mix a lot until you get something you like.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows? Why did you have to gloat? Just tell me why you had to go. I need you to let. Did you have to go?
Okay. So the next thing we want to do is add some delay. And I'm sure you know what delay is. I don't need to explain it to you. Basically, my chat with delay, it's a simple process. Right click. Set it to 4 or 8, I prefer 4. Then set the cut, because if the cutoff is high, listen to what it sounds like. But if the cutoff is low,
did you have to go and change?
You see, it's like almost it's like, why did you have to go? Feel me? So you just put the ping pong. I don't know what the ping pong does truly, but it sounds great. So there's 3. You can figure out what each of them does in an intuitive manner. You don't necessarily need to be able to explain it. Just experiment with each of these 3, see how it works for you. And then this is the main vocal. Oh, and the very last thing, I almost forgot. Always, and I mean always, mono your vocal. It just sounds better.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no?
It makes it sound like the vocal's coming from one place, which it kind of is. So that's our vocal. So here's our vocal against the beat. Here's it prior to being mixed.
Did you have to go?
And here's it post being mixed.
Did you have to go and change your heart like no one knows? Why did you have to gloat? Just tell me why you had to go.
That's great. So with harmonies, it's not too much different. What I'm gonna do now is drag the mixer track over here. And instead of monoing it, I'm gonna add a lot of stereo separation and a bit more reverb. And this is what we're gonna get with the ad libs and the harmonies.
Why you had to go? I need you to let me know about the things you never show. I can't stand why you never let me know. 10 toes to the ground, but you're stepping on my toes. Can't get why you never let me know.
So an issue we've run into is that the harmonies are too loud. We go here into the limiter and we take off some of the gain, maybe up to 2 decibels.
Why you had to go? I need you to let me know, but you're stepping on my toes. Can't get why you never let me know. Went straight from happy to letting you go, letting go, letting go. Why you had me?
So all in all, this is what the vocals sound like. I'm just gonna play the hook You know, stream CallMeTino, letting go. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but stream it and subscribe to me. Support struggling artists. So I'm just gonna play the hook as the outro, and then I'll see you guys another time.
I can't stand why you never let me know. 10 toes to the ground, but you're stepping on my toes. Can't get why you never let me know. Went straight from happy to letting you go. Letting go. Letting go. Why you had to let me go? Why you had to let me go? Let me go.